on in, sit back, relax, and listen to episode 165 of the WealthTech Today podcast. I'm your host, Craig Iskowitz, founder of Ezra Group Consulting. This podcast features interviews, news, and analysis on the trends and best practices all around wealth management technology. This episode is our November News Roundup, where I go through all the latest news in the wealth tech and wealth management technology space. Before I do, let's see our stories today. We've got 7 stories that I'll be covering. And let's see if I just go to the quick list. We have 2 marketing stories. Orion is partnering with Snappy Kraken on a marketing campaign. We have FMG and Catchlight are partnering as well. That's 2 marketing stories. Then we have 2 conference stories. One is the XY Planning Networks conference, and the second one is the Riskalyze conference. And finally, a couple of other stories. One is Envestnet is partnering with FNZ, the global wealth management and custody platform. And then we've got, let's see, one other story here. We've got, I said Riskalyze already. And then we have Pulse 360 launching an AI-based tool. And then, as always, our newly added ending to our news is updates to the Keatsis Ezra map and to the Ezra Group WealthTech Integration Score. And speaking of the WealthTech Integration Score, it's something that can be used by large firms and small firms when they're building their tech platforms and looking for new software. So if you are an executive at a broker-dealer, asset manager, or enterprise RIA, you should run, not walk, to our website, EzraGroupLLC.com, and fill out the Contact Us form on the homepage to meet with us about your technology platform issues. Our experienced team can assist with software and vendor evaluations, systems integrations, improving operational efficiency, and software implementations. You can take advantage of our free initial consultation by going to EzraGroupLLC.com. And a quick note before we start, please subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And now, let's kick this thing off. Our first story today in the November News Roundup: Orion supercharges RIA marketing tech suite with the launch of Redtail Campaigns. Orion Advisor Solutions today announces the launch of Redtail Campaigns, the industry's first CRM-centric advisor marketing suite. Powered by none other than Snappy Kraken, a digital marketing platform tool for financial advisors, Redtail Campaigns builds upon Orion's legacy marketer tool, that's MARKET''R, or rather *R, empowering advisors and firms to drive new business and deepen client relationships through hyper-personalized marketing campaigns launched right from the CRM dashboard. This is a new trend we're seeing in the all-in-one platform space, is adding digital marketing tools. So Orion has not acquired a tool, but they're partnering with Snappy Kraken to integrate them tightly into their expanding empire of wealth management tools after acquiring Redtail in April of 2022. They're now adding digital marketing. One of the things I don't like about some of these press releases is the incredible number of buzzwords. Hyper-personalized. Just personalized is enough. Personalized marketing campaigns. There's no difference in personalized and hyper-personalized. But we are seeing more success from these firms building out digital marketing tools, partnering with digital marketing tools, and just the rise of digital marketing tools in general. If you look at the Keatsis Ezra map, Advisor Tech map, which you can find on Keatsis.com, you can see the digital marketing category has been expanding over the years and adding more features. Now, that's separate from the standard generic marketing technology platforms, of which there are, believe it or not, almost 10,000, just generic marketing tools. Some of the success of some of the biggest tools, such as HubSpot or SharpSpring, which is what Ezra Group uses for our marketing platform, which is very similar to HubSpot, where they're an all-in-one solution. They are a CRM. They have marketing tools. They monitor your websites for traffic. They can send email campaigns and newsletters like a MailChimp or other tools, Constant Contact owns SharpSpring. So we're seeing that bleed over into the wealth tech business where they need the same. And it makes perfect sense having the digital marketing tools plugged into the CRM. You want everything in the same place. You don't want separate databases, one newsletter or email system, one digital marketing system, and then your CRM separately. You want everything together. The tighter the integration, the better. Even just integrations is bad if it's not. Having it all on one roof makes it a lot easier and a lot more seamless. A recent Broadridge study shows that close to 40% of advisors struggle with developing their digital marketing strategy. That's one of the benefits we found in our research at Ezra Group on the digital marketing space. One of the advantages of the Snappy Kraken business model is that they offer pre-packaged campaigns. Advisors, at least their clients, the clients that go to Snappy Kraken, like having everything done for them. They like the digital marketing strategy in a box, so to speak. If you look at Snappy Kraken, they have different campaigns set up for different niche markets, whether it's physicians or airline pilots or widows or people who are divorced. They have different categories, and they've got all of the content all scheduled out, very easy to use and build your own campaigns. So having that, you can see the power of having that linked into your CRM, where if you push out this campaign to your prospect list, every piece of content that the prospect touches or interacts with feeds back into the CRM. So I can see, not just launch. Now, they mentioned in this press release, you can launch campaigns right from the CRM dashboard. That's not the major power. The major power is all the data coming back into the CRM in one place. Every time a prospect clicks on a piece of social media content or interacts with it or forwards it or opens an email from you or goes to your website or reads an article or other piece of content, having that all in one place and tracked and rolled up makes it easier for you to manage your campaigns going forward. It makes it easier for you to build workflows in your digital marketing tool to say, well, if a new prospect comes in off this particular campaign and they do X, Y, then send them something else more. It becomes a drip campaign. Send them this piece of content in 2 weeks and this piece of content in 2 weeks and so forth and so on until they become a client. Now, in June 2020, San Francisco-based private equity firm Genstar Capital bought a stake in Orion and then merged it with Breaker Capital, one of the biggest TAMPs with $25 billion under management. Now, Genstar's stake happens to be equal to that of TA Associates, another private equity firm that was Orion's majority shareholder since 2015. With Redtail Campaigns, this is a quote from Brian McLaughlin, former, still the founder of Redtail Technology, but now the president of Orion Advisor Tech. With Redtail Campaigns, we're marrying marketing, CRM, and financial planning technology to accelerate the prospect to plan journey and modernize this important advisor workflow. One of the big aspects of this, and I think a lot of the acquisitions, a lot of the partnerships revolve around data. I believe that the Orion buying Redtail, part of it was because it's a great team. Brian McLaughlin's a leader in the industry. Redtail is a leader in market share in advisor or CRM, but it's also data. Redtail's been around for since 2003, so almost 20 years. All this data built up in their systems, notes, texts, emails, prospects, advisors. So all this database data is there for them to then manage, analyze, review, and figure out ways to provide value to advisors. And as I mentioned before, having it all in one place makes it better. Fragmented, standalone tools don't integrate well, and they aren't as efficient. We've seen that in our work in our analysis of the digital marketing space, as well as when we launched our Ezra Group WealthTech integration score. We can see that many firms many applications are not integrated well, especially in the digital marketing space. Here is a 2022 Investment News Advisor Technology study. Shows that digital marketing software used by advisors, 70% of advisors responding to the Investment News survey said they use social media marketing tools. 70% use email marketing, 44% web design. That seems really low. I'm not sure they even understand the question. Why would only 44% have a web designer? 38% digital advertising, 36%. Wait, am I off here? 1, 2, 3, 4. These numbers don't line up here. I'm showing digital advertising solutions, 38%. Digital search engine optimization, 36%. So there's lots of tools used by advisors, at least according to this survey, but they're really not integrated well. In terms of spending, another survey, this is also the same Investment News survey, shows that 58% of advisors are not increasing their spending on digital marketing. Rather than 67% are not spending more on CRM either. So bad news for maybe this initiative. Maybe they can target the 42% that are expanding digital marketing, or maybe they're not expanding it because they don't know the value or they don't see the value. Regarding integration scores, in the Ezra Group WealthTech integration score, Snappy Kraken scored an 8.0 and Orion Advisor scored a 10.0, perfect score. We expect this trend towards end-to-end platforms to continue, more tools and technologies built into these platforms, from prospecting and digital marketing and onboarding all the way through the billing and client statements and such. It just makes things much easier for advisors and broker dealers and all firms in general. Story number 2 in the October news roundup: Envestnet and FNZ signed a partnership agreement for Envestnet to use FNZ's digital onboarding solution. Now, FNZ acquired their digital onboarding solution when they bought Appway in December 2021. That acquisition was completed in February of 2021. So the integration of Envestnet's and FNZ's platform will allow for real-time account opening and funding, along with digitally automated servicing and maintenance capabilities for the full life cycle of the client account, according to the press release. Now, Appway is a multinational company headquartered in Zurich, and their solutions, they claim they've got their solutions installed at 10 of the 25 world largest wealth managers. They do have a foothold in the US. One of their biggest clients is LPL Financial. They've also made some partnership agreements with other vendors. Back in 2019, they launched 2 partnerships, one with Fiserv APL, which is now part of InvestCloud. They agreed to use their automated onboarding tools for the Fiserv APL billing systems. And Refinitiv announced a partnership in July 2019 with Appway to use their onboarding solutions for the Beta platform. What's interesting about that is Refinitiv then sold Beta to who else? InvestCloud. Well, actually, the Motive Partners, the owners of InvestCloud, but it's all the same, under the same ownership umbrella. So it's interesting that both of those firms now belong under the InvestCloud umbrella, and both are using FNZ's onboarding tools, according to the press release. So what's interesting about this is Envestnet has been revamping their tool set and their capabilities. In their most recent advisor summit, they demoed new products, including a new proposal generation tool, a new digital onboarding end-to-end solution, which totally revamped what they had before, as well as a new client portal. So Envestnet is definitely looking for partners to help them improve their capabilities. And onboarding has always been an issue for advisors. So anything they can do to make it easier will be helpful. Appway is very good in the enterprise space, and Envestnet has some of the largest capabilities, the largest market share with enterprise wealth management firms. There's a number of different challenges that wealth management firms encounter when they are doing onboarding. So this came from a report from July 2020, I believe it's from Gartner. Long onboarding times for customers, sometimes 45 days or more in different regions of the country or different maybe regions of the world. There's some regional misalignments that even in the same region of the country, there's different booking centers of the same region or different branch offices, different parts of the business have different customer experiences. It's not standardized across a business, especially larger broker deals, larger wealth management firms. There's issues with regulatory data quality. Things are misaligned in the compliance processes when they're onboarding. Again, when you get to bigger firms, whether they're custodians or large broker dealers. And these onboarding processes become very complex and inefficient because there's so many different systems that have to be touched, so many different pieces of data that have to be moved, KYC, AML, moving data between, moving systems. And if you're going to be funding it with security, so you're doing ACATs, that changes things. If you're opening multiple accounts, that requires multiple envelopes. Sometimes they're not able to bring multiple accounts in the same digital envelope. And then when you're adding other types of financial products like insurance, some systems can open multiple accounts, including insurance accounts, but many cannot. So that's an important benefit. Another change, another update here is that I said Envestnet did that. Oh, so part of this partnership, which was also announced in the press release, was that Envestnet's their newly launched data and analytics wealth platform, which they're calling Wealth Data Platform, WDP, is going to be integrated into FNZ's platform. So they're sharing systems and data back and forth between them. Now, we're really excited to see Envestnet's wealth data platform being so into data as we are at Ezra Group. We're always looking for more benefits for broker-dealers, advisors, asset managers, large RIAs, RIA aggregators, TAMPs, and other firms to be able to access their own data and be able to use it in ways to provide analytics and next best actions and better business management. So offering the Envestnet platform back to FNZ and their global customer base, and also FNZ's looking to get a foothold in the US, which is another interesting aspect of this deal. FNZ also signed a partnership agreement with State Street to launch businesses that backed by State Street's custody to higher net worth and other trust businesses in the US, because FNZ doesn't have much business on the wealth side besides Appway when it comes to US companies. So FNZ and Envestnet do compete in that aspect, that FNZ, I believe, has their eyes on Envestnet's business in the US, but now they're partnering. So another part of the co-opetition, which we've seen since I've been in the industry over 30 years, we've always seen co-opetition firms that have to work together while they're still competing. So seeing I have scheduled a call with Envestnet. They reached out to me when this press release went out, but I couldn't get the call scheduled before the news was being recorded. So hopefully I'll have some more information, and I'll include that in the news next month. Next story up on the October News Roundup, XYPN Live. XY Planning Network is an organization of fee-only financial advisors who specialize in working with Gen X and Gen Y clients. They offer comprehensive resources to help financial planners run better and more successful businesses. They've been around for over 8 years and went from just 30 members when they started. Now they're up to 1,600 members. They sort of look to me like a loosely affiliated broker-dealer with the number of services they offer. They aim to provide a turnkey solution for planners before they launch their business, for firms in their first year, and for businesses that have existed for multiple years. In the last session I was at the conference was an Ask Me Anything with the two founders, Michael Kitces and Alan Moore. And I think they showed some data that show that the firms that have been in business for multiple years were the ones who started with XYPN in the very beginning. So they haven't gotten a large portion of new businesses that are already existing, but they tend to really keep the startup businesses that grow bigger for a long time. So it's interesting, a group of firms that advisors and fee-only planners that have joined the network and stay with it. Their support system includes technology, compliance, education, marketing. At this conference, they just launched their virtual admins through XYPN with all pre-designed packages of services with X number of hours. I would imagine where the admins are already trained on how to work with financial planners. Very cool suite of services. There was a full trade floor of vendors of all different products and software. So it looked like a real trade show. My first event at XYPN, I was really impressed with the whole setup, how smoothly things ran, some of the sessions. And by the way, at that Ask Me Anything event, which was towards the end of the conference, there was over 500 people in that room listening to Michael and Alan answer questions. And they answered everything. Whatever came up, they were tweeting live, I think, or posting live into the app questions. And some of them were pretty funny. They took all questions and answered basically everything as honestly as they could. Now, I participated in one of the events, which they called the WealthTech Expo. And it is, they do this every year, where they bring in vendors that are new. I think, someone's got to fact check me on this. I should have checked beforehand. I believe they have been in business for less than a year, have less than $1 million, and or have less than $1 million in revenue. So they're looking for small firms, startup firms to give presentations, and then they pick a winner. I believe everyone who is attending the demos picks a winner. And they get and the winner of the WealthTech Expo gets a free booth at next year's XYPN Live. I'm just going to go quickly through the vendors, tell you a little bit about each one, and then I'll tell you who won. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vendors. 3 of them were what I would call financial planning light type of, or financial planning alternatives, wellness type of applications. So I'll do them first. First one was Lumient, and they call themselves a digital engagement tool. They offer fact-finding, goal-based financial planning, retirement tools, task nudging, a document vault. And one of their benefits is they believe they can reach out to what they call the non-CFO spouse, which I thought was very cool, because a lot of times many advisors kind of focus only on the CFO spouse, so the spouse that earns the money, and the other spouse gets ignored. So if products like Lumient can help advisors reach out to the other spouse or the other partner in the relationship and help them understand financial wellness and other types of aspects of the financial lives, it can engage and empower clients, increase referrals, increase revenue and retention all around. But it's difficult to be in this particular space since it is a bit amorphous. It's not full on financial planning like Money Guide Pro, eMoney, Right Capital. It's well, I might be calling it rather a light tool. A lot of it has to do with onboarding, gathering a lot of information when the clients first meet with the advisor to really understand them, which is again great tools and great to have. It's just a difficult space to be in. So with the first vendor that came up was Lumient. We liked their demo, like what they had to show. Second product is called Saveology for Advisors. Again, another they call themselves a modern financial wellness platform. They offer tools for data gathering, prospecting, data collection, user onboarding, and they also have financial literacy tools. So again, very similar in what they're offering for advisors and how they present their product. Of course, the products look very different. They all try to encourage, nudge better habits, help advisors nudge better habits with their clients, and they try to offer one platform. I know Saveology has some more advanced planning features. They have some financial coaching involved. Again, both tools have goals-based planning. They offer options directly to individuals, so Saveology also has a B2C component, so it makes things a little different there. The third financial planning light platform is called Income Labs Life Hub. Now, this was a pretty cool product. They have again retirement income planning, plan monitoring, but they also have this decumulation planning, which I thought was interesting. The way their tools work, it looks like a sort of a mini flow chart, and they show a lot of data across the screen and how clients' financial lives work through income, assets, expenses, liabilities, all on one screen. It gets kind of busy, but all the advisors I spoke to who have seen it like the way it works. It's all color-coded, and you can see things flowing through the client's financial lives. Again, all on one page, so it makes it easy for advisors to explain to clients, here's how everything's working. They have a tax center. They have some more deep, in-depth planning. Again, I don't believe that this tool is designed to replace the Money Guide Pro eMoney, but it's supposed to enhance it or maybe be used for clients that don't need a full-on financial plan. So those are the 3 applications in that category. There was another great application that we saw is called Hubly. This is so Hubly, Hubly, and in the notes on this podcast, we'll include links to all of these companies' websites. Hubly is a CRM enhancement tool. It's a workflow automation tool, from what I can see from it. And they showed a demo of it sitting on top of Redtail, enhancing and improving the way you work with your CRM. To me, it looked like it was almost disintermediating the CRM because you spent most of your time in the Hubly tool and less time in Redtail. They have data discovery, data gathering, they have an onboarding view, they have a client check-in tool, they have age-based rules, so you can set things up to let me know which clients maybe are reaching age 50 and need to do a catch-up IRA contribution. That's a Hubly use case. They also have something called client cards. And in the client card, it basically surfaces a lot of Redtail data, client tags, notes. You can access your Redtail client list. So you're really sort of putting this interface on top of Redtail. And you can use tag groups. You can manually add things like you can schedule future workflows, add different types of accounts. Now, there are things that Hubly doesn't do, such as logging clients in, actually sending them email, doing calendars. So you need to go back to Redtail or your CRM for that. But there's a lot of interesting tools that Hubly can offer you. It has more advanced workflow that you may like better than Redtail. So check them out. I'll give you the link later where you can go find more information about Hubly. Another product that was demoing at the WealthTech Expo as part of XYPN Live was Virgil. And that's just 4 letters, VRGL, but pronounced Virgil. They do a cool thing. They do extract data from client PDF statements. They can do it in, they pull performance contribution and attribution throughout. They can do risk calculation, including multi-factor models, real-time scenarios. They pull the client's asset and factor-based exposure across all the accounts if you have multiple accounts with multiple PDFs. They claim they can unravel layered fees and show their drags on performance, which can be very helpful for advisors trying to pitch their differentiation to prospective clients. They describe their product as a quantitative solution to the tax optimization puzzle. They offer some tax transition strategies, and they have goals of accelerating advisors' revenue by 50%. So it looks like a very interesting program. Every advisor seems to get PDF files with their prospective clients' account statements. So pumping them through Virgil can reduce the amount of time it takes to build a proposal for a client and hopefully generate more revenue and bring more clients on board. The next to last application is called Econic, and their product is the Conversation Hub for Financial Advice. This is a client meeting management tool designed for enterprises and large RIAs, and it has some very interesting features. One is it is built on top of a custom designed web recording or web screen sharing tool, sort of like a Zoom video conferencing tool. So, but it's their own built-in, so it replaces Zoom, and it's very cool. It's more modern looking, gives you more functionality. You can see the different people that are on the meeting, and then you can build your own agendas for the meetings. They have different templates that allow you to customize and white label these agendas. The agendas have different color coding for different parts of the meeting, so it's easy for the advisor to walk through different things and make sure they don't forget what they have to tell the client, and different questions they want to ask them, or different parts of the client's financial lives they want to pay attention to. And it all walks through on the screen and color coded. It then links into the CRM, so all your tasks get updated. Very interesting product. You should take a look at them. That's Econic, ECONIQ. They also have a proprietary scoring methodology called MQ, or meeting quotient, to let you know if your advisors are having productive meetings or not. So you should look at that. Econic, ECONIQ. The last application is called Sora Finance, SORA Finance. They describe themselves as an always-on debt optimization tool that gives advisors the ability to view full loan pictures for their clients in one place. So Sora looks at the opposite of what most advisors do, which is they look at the investments and assets. Sora looks at debt. They look at loans, home loans, HELOCs, auto loans, student loans, and they try to find better deals automatically through AI. It's an AI-based debt management tool. They claim they provide a lot of value for clients. They have better access to lenders. The advisors are charged $100 a month per advisor, scaling down for larger firms. And they claim they've been able to bring rates down by 30% or more for their customers by comparing different lenders. And Sora Finance won the WealthTech Expo at XYPN Live. So they're going to get a free booth next year at XYPN Live 2023. And you can check them out, Sora Finance. You can Google them. We'll have a link for them in the show notes. Next up in conference news, Riskalyze Fearless Investing Summit was also held last month in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. And some of the news that came out of the conference, Riskalyze announced its client acquisition and engagement growth platform enhancements. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. Back in February of 2017, so almost 6 years ago, I wrote an article about Riskalyze when they launched their model marketplace. And they'd already had a number of other products that were non-risk related. They were already expanding into tangential areas in the advisor workflow. And I said, it's time. Riskalyze needs to change their name. Because being Riskalyze, if you're just doing risk, is great. But if you're also doing client check-ins, and you're doing meetings, and you're doing marketplace, and then you're doing other things like the autopilot, which is a portfolio rebalancing, you're no longer just risk. And the word Riskalyze, while it's a great name and it has a great brand, it's not enough to represent what your platform is. Well, I was 6 years ahead of my time. Aaron Klein, CEO and co-founder of Riskalyze, at the conference from the big stage, announced, he teased us that there will be a name change coming in 2023. He wasn't forthcoming with what the name will be, but it sounded like there'll be a holding company similar to what I wrote in 2017, like what Google did with Alphabet. They created the Alphabet holding company, and then Google was just one of the products under Alphabet's holding company. And it sounds like Riskalyze will be doing the same. Some new name will come out as a new company. Riskalyze will still be a product, and maybe they'll launch other products underneath it. They've got so many products now. They've got the compliance tool, which they've called Command Center, and they also have Riskalyze Ultimate. They've got their portfolio statistics. They've got Discovery, Snapshot. Now they've got a lot of other things. So these might all be rolled into Riskalyze or into separate companies. We don't know, but it's a great way to go. They really need to expand because they are more than just risk. And the positioning, if you read the press release and also during the conference, their branding and their messaging is now industry-leading growth platform for wealth management firms. So they're really pushing the growth platform that their firm is no longer describing themselves as a risk tolerance tool or anything like that. They're talking about a growth platform. So it really gives them a lot of room to expand into almost any aspect of the advisor's workflow. They talked about, Aaron from the stage talked about their fourth pillar that they're adding. The first one is what they're calling maintains consistent client experience, which I'm gathering is around their risk tool and their check-ins and some of their light financial planning, where they've got some goals and some expense calculations, and then provides insights, which is another part of those tools. Then they've got the compliance, which is really expanded and done pretty well in terms of them selling into enterprise accounts. And the fourth pillar of their growth platform is now just called Empowers Growth. So they're looking to help grow advisors' businesses. They announced updates to, 6 different parts of the system. Check-ins. So they added a new check-in experience, which is their email. Hey, do you like the market? Do you not like the market? Very quick, easy 2-question questionnaire. And then they're pulling that and rolling that up into a dashboard so you can see across all your clients which ones responded to your check-in and what did they answer, either yes, yes, or no, yes, or yes, no. And that gives you different advice as to whether you should. In fact, if it's anyone who answers the survey, you should call, was what their basic requirement was. But some of them, if they answer no, that they're upset about the market and upset where things are going, you need to call them even quicker. They announced account groups, a new way to group accounts for reporting, for their portfolio management tool, for their doing reporting on different time horizons for goals. It's a common functionality that almost every full-featured wealth management platform that's primarily portfolio management or reporting has some way to group accounts, even just to simply do it for reporting. It's really a requirement. So now Riskalyze has that. They announced a feature called tax drag. Taxes are a huge driver of sales in the portfolio management, also in the TAMP space. When it comes to tax transition, you're bringing in accounts in from another broker dealer, and you need to transition them over to your models. You want to do that in a most tax efficient way. When you're buying assets, securities into multiple accounts, usually clients that have both taxable and non-taxable accounts. Asset location is very important for taxes. So knowing where to put your bonds that are throwing off steady streams of income and where to put your stocks that you're going to be holding for multiple years. that is very important to put them into the right location, can have a tremendous impact on taxes. So they're offering this tax drag metric along with their risk number and the risk-wise GPA. And these are all great intellectual property assets for Riskalyze. The risk number is something that everyone associates with Riskalyze. Now their GPA for portfolio analytics tool, and now their tax drag also for measuring the tax liability. I know that Life Yield has something similar. They have a tax efficient number. I can't remember the name, tax efficient, where it's analyzing the taxable efficiency of a portfolio. And also the other part, another important part of tax is when you're rebalancing, you want to rebalance in the most tax efficient way. Watch out for wash sales, netting across accounts if you can. And then when you're in the decumulation phase of life and you're selling down assets, also to do that in the most tax efficient way. So there's a lot of room for Riskalyze to build out more tax tools. Tax drag is just one metric. And also taking these metrics, this intellectual property, and then applying it across other parts of their business. For example, in their portfolio investment analytics tools, which they launched last year. One's called Discovery for filtering, looking through different types of assets and building portfolios, being able to filter assets based on the proprietary numbers and tools that Riskalyze is launching. So you can give me the assets that have the lowest risk number, or that when they put them together, give me the best risk. Or when I build my portfolio from my Discovery tool, now show me the GPA of that portfolio, show me the tax drag of that possible portfolio. So all these different metrics are proprietary to Riskalyze. So it makes it the advisors who are using their platform stickier, because they're going to get used to building portfolios using these proprietary metrics. They launched, Riskalyze also launched a snapshot report, which is a one-page side-by-side report comparing advisory fee, expense ratios, and tax drag in a current or proposed portfolio. We always call that as part of a proposal. And Riskalyze also has a very good proposaling system, which is kind of an under-the-radar thing they don't talk about a lot. But a lot of advisors use their proposal generation module. And one part of Prop Gen is current versus proposed, or current versus target portfolio, a very important part of a proposal. Hey, you're telling the client, here's your current proposal, here's your current portfolio, which by definition, if you're going to a new advisor, they're going to tell you sucks. Hey, here's your current portfolio, here's why it sucks. Whatever thing you can pull out, whether it's risk or dispersion or other aspects of it, you have to say the current portfolio sucks, and here's the new portfolio, target portfolio you want to put you in, and look how wonderful it is. So you need that current versus proposed in most portfolios. Now, Riskalyze has it. They have some features in their Discovery tool as well, which is part of their investment analytics. They added filters for fixed income. Important to have, and the whole aspect of investing they didn't have when they were always supporting equities. Now they do fixed income. And they also cover securities such as separately managed accounts and bond funds. Huge addition to the Discovery tool. And they added features to their command center, which is mainly compliance. And this is a big thing that was missing for many years. When you have risk across thousands of portfolios, I want to roll them up. I want to see across my portfolios in one dashboard what risk is going on, where am I trending, and other things that are happening. And finally, they announced some updates to their Riskalyze Ultimate platform, which is one of their packages of tools. So they've got a couple different packages that advisors can purchase that build in a bunch of different modules for a certain price. And Ultimate is what they're calling their flagship offering, which is everything. So top of the line Riskalyze growth platform tools. They integrate with CRM, financial planning. And they also, another word that Aaron Klein used from the stage is get the flywheel spinning. That's a great term we use a lot, talking to businesses, how they grow and getting that flywheel spinning. Hard to turn the flywheel, but once it's going, it's hard to stop it. And Riskalyze sees that as well. The last final thing, I want to thank Riskalyze for giving Ezra Group a shout out from the main stage. And they were talking about their Ezra Group WealthTech integration score, and Riskalyze scored a perfect 10 out of 10. So they wanted everyone to know about that. And I would encourage all firms to talk about your investment, whether you're an Ezra Group WealthTech integration score. And also, I believe on my notes here, Riskalyze also launched a new integration kit for financial planning apps that enable launching a plan from Riskalyze, setting data and also pulling risk data from planning. We're always encouraging firms to build more two-way bi-directional integrations. It gives you a better integration score, first of all, but also it's better for advisors, broker-dealers, RIAs, everyone using integrations. You want bi-directional integration. It makes it easier to move data back and forth. It's going to provide a more seamless experience for advisors, improve your workflows. So that's the top of the review for the Riskalyze Fearless Investment Summit. FMG and Catchlight partner to give financial advisors an easy button to deliver personalized prospect communications. I really like this announcement. Of course, I like any announcement where firms are integrating and sharing data and building better solutions together. We need more of this. I love the Catchlight solution. They're a new company launched out of Fidelity Labs, and they are a lead insights engine. It's a part of the whole lead generation, digital marketing workflow that's really missing. And what they do is they enrich the profiles of advisors' leads, enrich the pipeline that advisors have with deep demographic data, and they highlight those that are most likely to convert. And it's AI based, and I did some investigation, some due diligence. They are actually using AI, not one of those firms that just say, "Hey, we have AI," but it's really not. It is an AI-based application using. It's been trained on more than 100,000 successful client conversions to basically show which parts of a prospect's financial life are most likely to indicate that they will convert, become a client of an advisor. It's a very good tool. They've got a proprietary scoring algorithm based on that ranks all of the prospects in an advisor's pipeline, and from high to low, from most likely to convert to least likely. So if you have dozens and dozens of prospects that have maybe reached out to you, touched you in some way through either a webinar or read an email or clicked on a social post, which one do you speak to first? You have limited time. The Catchlight score can tell you where to focus in what order. Super helpful. I see that being a major benefit to advisors who are using it in terms of efficiency and growth, focusing on growth. So what is this partnership between Catchlight and FMG? So FMG is one of the leading providers of digital marketing platforms focused in the financial advisory space, but they also do insurance agents. They are certainly the largest provider in the enterprise space. They're one of the largest providers in the RIA space. Great company. They've built their business both organically and inorganically over time. You can always just Google them, go to their website, fmgsuite.com. And Catchlight is at catchlight.ai, not .com, but .ai, if you want to check out Catchlight. So what is this partnership doing? So what Catchlight has is the lead score. What they don't have is content. So FMG has a huge collection of content, whether they're email templates, blog posts, social media posts, articles, other things. They've got content that they've developed. FMG has their own content development team. So they build out content specifically for the clients of advisors in different niches, things that prospective clients might be interested based on their profession, based on their hobbies, based on their family, their age, things like that. So they've got all this content all tagged, so you know which particular content might be interesting to a particular type of prospect, again, based on age, income, objectives, or other different traits. So now we're going to match these two. We're taking the lead score. When an advisor is looking at their prospect list, you've got the lead score. It's now going to match it up with the FMG content. And in Catchlight's, they've got a very nice dashboard. Let's take a look at it. They also integrate with CRM, so they can surface their data into the CRM, so it's all in one place. They're also going to show the FMG content that will be most likely to entice that particular prospect and why you should send it. Very helpful. We love tools, technologies that reduce the number of decisions or the research an advisor has to do, and just gives them decisions. Here, click here, or click here. You don't have to do the research. You don't have to go look through hundreds of pieces of content to find the right one that you think would be interesting to your clients or your prospects. We've already done it for you. Here, just click here, and in this order. super great time saver. There's a reference to a McKinsey report that this personalized marketing tools can lift revenues 5 to 15% and increase the efficiency of marketing spend by 10 to 30%. There's the old adage, half of my marketing budget is wasted. I just don't know which half. It's true for advisors as well. And if this content works, if this connection works, then it's going to increase the efficiency of the time and effort that advisors are spending on marketing by 10 to 30% or even more. If you're really inefficient, then it's going to save you a lot more. And from what we've seen, most advisors aren't very efficient when it comes to their marketing strategy. We've done a lot of research at Ezra Group in the digital marketing space, in the digital marketing space. And one of the survey results that come up a lot is more than, I think 40% of advisors just don't even have a digital marketing strategy. They're just floundering, going from idea to idea and doing some things that they think are working and maybe not. So having a digital marketing strategy, using a company like FMG to help you with that strategy, and then partnering with tools like Catchlight will really help advisors improve their efficiency and grow their businesses. So we really like this partnership between FMG and Catchlight. Next story in the news. Pulse 360 brings the latest artificial intelligence technology to help advisors communicate more concisely and clearly. More AI news. We love AI news. We love artificial intelligence and how it's going to help advisors and the rest of the wealth management industry. Another example of real AI, not fake AI like we see a lot of firms doing. Pulse 360 is offering a feature. Now, Pulse 360, you can check them out, pulse360.com. They are advisor, client meeting, organizational efficiency tool. If you are an advisor and you have meetings with clients, as all advisors do, you need Pulse 360 to organize your meetings, build the agendas, organize the data you're going to be talking to them about, run the meeting, deliver a customized communications after the meeting, automatically update tasks in your CRM, kick off workflows in your CRM, really save tremendous amounts of time for these critical tasks. You need to have client meetings. Why not do them more efficiently with Pulse 360? One part of their tool they just announced is something called Rephrase. It is an AI-based tool that summarizes text. So if you have blocks of text, paragraphs of text, pages of text you want to communicate to your clients, it could be about retirement, it could be about particular types of assets or particular types of accounts, or whatever you want to communicate to the client about. Rephrase will summarize using AI, natural language processing, and tremendous amounts of learning on lots of other communications and looking at how humans summarize text. The AI now can do that. I've tested it. It works great. I wish I had it for my business. I'm not an advisor, unfortunately, but I would love to have this type of product for when I'm writing emails. I'm trying to write long emails. It wasn't getting too long. I would love to be able to summarize just in a couple sentences this long block of text or paragraph, multi-paragraphs in a simple way. So the Pulse 360 Rephrase, but they're saying it eases writer's block, makes it easier to write shorter, more precise communications to your clients. You can check it out at pulse360.com. There was one other comment I wanted to make here at pulse360.com, if I can find my notes here. Okay, here we go. So using Rephrase to write better, faster, you can see on their website a demo of this. There's a screen recording that shows you how it works. If you want more information, again, on pulse360.com. So making it easier, it also makes it non-technical. So it reduces the technical difficulty of the reading. I know there's a number of statistical metrics on text that show you the level of education you might need to understand. I know I need to read it at below high school level personally, and I prefer writing in 8th grade. I do sometimes check my writing to see that it's at least 8th grade or lower, not because people aren't intelligent, but because it's just difficult to read when we're all reading so many emails every day. You don't want to send out very dense, technically dense or dense communication to people. It's just too hard for our brains to to consume. So this software that's built into Pulse 360 makes it concise. It expands anything you wrote that was in shorthand and puts it out into a non-technical way. So I would check these guys out, pulse360.com and the Rephrase AI tool. And wrapping up the news, as we always do, is updates to the Iskowitz Ezra Group WealthTech Map and the Ezra Group WealthTech Integration Scores. So let's take a look at what is new. We've got, I believe, 9 new companies that have been added to the Iskowitz Ezra Group map. They are, let's see, Alt Exchange, which is going performance reporting, Apex Clearing and Entrustity that are going into custodial platforms, Projection Lab Planning Light, Sora, which is going to specialized planning other. Denim Social is going to digital marketing. I believe Careful is going into specialized planning as well. And then we have Ramsey SmartVestor is going to advisor lead tech, and Savvy Social Security is going into specialized planning retirement. What we're seeing in the trends around the map is more companies around specialized planning, more companies available looking for new niches in specialized planning, which is really great for advisors. Advisors are flocking to these tools. One reason we see that is they want some differentiation, and just using MoneyGuide Pro, eMoney, and Right Capital, any other full-featured planning tool is great, but they want more in very specific niche areas, whether it's retirement planning, whether it's healthcare planning, whether it's planning for aged family members. All these different tools are offering a lot more for advisors to deliver to clients. So we're seeing all these different planning tools come around. We're also seeing a lot of light planning, what we call financial wellness, things I talked about in the XYPN segment of the news. There's a couple of, I think, 2 or 3 firms there that were what we call light planning or wellness platforms. And these are more client. We had these under client engagement on the Iskowitz Ezra map because they're sort of doing a lot of different things that help advisors connect with clients in different ways, whether it's color coding, walking them through different parts of the business, and then leading the advisors into conversations with the client. Reminds me, I wanted to mention this during the XYPN segment, I forgot. It reminds me of United Capital, before they were sold to Goldman, had built their own onboarding tool called MoneyMind. And I think they had a couple other tools as well that were designed to help advisors gather information from clients and build a relationship with them by walking them through sort of a gamified version of the onboarding process. And that tool was very, very successful. So I think a lot of firms are copying that in different ways, trying to help advisors launch conversation with different types of clients in order to build that relationship. Because the very first thing you work with the client on is onboarding. And if that experience is good, they're more likely to stay. So we've got those. Those are the updates for the map. If you have any, if you are a new vendor and you want to be added to the map, send an email to adam@kietziz.com. And the Ezra Group WealthTech Integration Score, we're a couple weeks behind. So we're going to be adding the vendors that came on board on the map last month. So you'll see those coming on this month, and you'll see these vendors coming in a couple of weeks, because it takes us a little while to do our due diligence on these vendors and get their scores going. So you'll see those in the Ezra Group map. Also, there's going to be some slight tweaking to the map. We're tweaking the methodology a little bit around depth and breadth. So we'll be announcing that in, I think, 2 weeks. So you'll see what that difference is. Just going to slightly change some scores a bit. And also, big news, the Ezra Group WealthTech Integration Score is going live on the Iskowitz WealthTech directory. So there's lots of Iskowitz Ezra things in this discussion, but Michael Iskowitz on his website, kietziz.com, has the WealthTech directory, which is an interactive tool for free anyone can use to look at all of the applications that are on the map, as well as all of their secondary categories, where the map only shows primary category. The directory shows secondary. So, for example, a firm like InvestNet, their full-featured platform, their Tamarack platform, or their enterprise platform has, a dozen or more different categories that's covered, we don't show those on the map. We put them in the directory, where Michael does. This is Michael's area. I did help him a little bit with it, but that's really his baby, the WealthTech directory. In the directory, I believe they're going to be showing a Iskowitz advisor satisfaction rating for each vendor, which they got from their survey they did last year. And you can find it also on Iskowitz.com. And they're also going to show for every vendor the Ezra Group WealthTech integration score. So when you're looking at different applications, you can search by them, filter, categorize by them, or when you're looking at two applications, you're coming down to the wire, which one do I pick? You can look at the Ezra Group WealthTech integration score and help you decide. So that's going to be launching this month on Iskowitz.com. That's our updates. Thanks again for listening. You made it all the way through another episode of the program. Please go to our website, EzraGroupLLC.com, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, and sign up for our newsletter. Every month you'll receive an email chock full of wealth management goodness, news, analysis, updates, links. You will not be disappointed. Thanks again for listening, and talk to you again next time.